All right, Chef Alex has done it again. We have Chef Alex Hamilton,
Hi.
and we want to highlight some spring creations that will absolutely dress up any dish.
So we got two vinaigrettes, two dressings. You know, they're the same thing. The synonyms. Haskap elderberry vinaigrette or ginger miso dressing.
Yeah, cool. Well, obviously the color on this one caught my eye, as well as the ingredients. So
Oh, yeah.
break it down. What inspired this creation, how someone might use it, and what are some of the highlights about this particular dressing?
Well, okay, so the inspiration really came from the fact that haskaps are so well grown here. Haskap or honeyberry
Yeah.
is a Siberia, originally from Siberia, but a very hardy shrub type berry. Honeysuckle or blue honeysuckle is also what it's called, and they got these elongated berries that they're like a mix between a blueberry, a currant. And then just like the honeysuckle flower, how it's long, and
Yeah.
they're gorgeous. They're so rich in antioxidants. They're one of my favorite berries. And then to find out that they grow like a lot here. I mean, there was a big
Yeah.
program in the 80s, I think it was, where they brought them over and they really promoted growing them with farmers, and a bunch of farmers actually around Alberta took to it and.
For sure. Yeah, and it's become a staple in people's gardens now. So maybe you have some haskaps growing. You got to have two different varieties for the cross pollination. I love how they're a nice fruit. They're low sugar. I would say they're less sweet than a blueberry. They've got a little bit of tartness. It depends on the variety as well. I've tasted some that are like so intensely bitter.
Yeah.
They're almost like kind of wild ones, but definitely the ones that are being cultivated, great flavor, nice tartness, and just packed full of nutrition, including the antioxidants.
Oh, so good. Yeah. And then also, as most of the vinaigrettes in here or dressings or whatever, there's a chickpea miso. I love the chickpea miso.
Yeah.
It's like we could do a whole segment on all the things that we use chickpea miso in and why, and it's just because it is just such a wonderful thing, and it's like not only the nutritional value of it, but also just like the flavor components, and it brings like a mouthfeel and a meatiness where it just really enriches anything. And
totally. So what I love about this, and one thing I want to add more about the haskap, is like this is just an awesome like seasonal food, right? So like miso, you can eat any season, but we often associate it more of like that winter, which if anybody looks outside, yes, it's nice spring today, but then we'll get winter again, and it'll be like spring again. Haskap berries are like the earliest berry to come up and be ripe in the season. Like you could be eating haskap berries in June. So there's definitely that nice kind of seasonal tie-in. It's very light, and you were talking about some of the applications that somebody could use this with, like spring and seasonal ingredients.
So especially with like the foraging that we love here, is like with shoots and to make it like a fresh green salad is obviously the best thing for it, and it's like also talking about how this is basically an oxymel with oil in it,
right?
know?
Yeah.
So we got the raw honey in there. We have a vinegar, apple cider vinegar, but then also there is haskap vinegar.
Right.
I made some haskap wine for specifically to make vinegar with, and it turned out amazing. And so
if you don't, one of the things you might not know about Alex is he loves vinegars and is always creating these wildly experimental fruit vinegars, herbal vinegars, and 95% of them are awesome. There was one that I tasted, I was like, well, this is curious. But hey, you don't hit those home runs unless you try, right?
Exactly. And that it really is, it's to find out, well, what happened with it? Why did the flavor go like that? And
Well, in this case, it was the poplar bud vinegar, which I think it was just the herb, right? And I guess here's my brain of like, here's what I want out of it, and like, no, it wasn't happening. So not to say it was bad, product, but Okay. Anyways, we got our next one here.
So this is the ginger miso dressing. So this is kind of like a wafu, based on kind of like a wafu dressing. Like we have this low temperature pressed sesame oil that I just think is amazing. I mean, again, seed oils, but like sesame oil.
I mean, you look at like cultures around the world, throughout history, like in India, and how revered sesame oil is in Ayurveda,
Oh, totally. And so I love it. I mean, there is also the most of it is extra virgin olive oil in both of these too, and so they're they're amazing. But you need that sesame oil, because this is more of
Yeah.
like the wafu type dressing, with the ginger. We got some ginger bug in there. There's the miso again. There's bull kelp. Like I like
Yeah.
that all of these things that pack a huge flavor are also really good for like nutrition, like iodine and things like that we need. So
From the land and the sea and the ferments and the fresh and the it's
that's
all
so
in there.
good. Yeah. So this one is really good on fresh greens as well, like more like bok choys and
Right.
like Asian kind of style things, and
Yeah.
but on whatever, like cooked vegetables too. It's amazing.
Yeah, cool. Right on. Well, I was asking you just before we started, kind of shelf life of these. We do keep them in the fridge. I'd recommend you keep them as well.
Mhm.
And so you had mentioned easily a few months in the
Oh
fridge.
yeah. Like I mean, that's just like the best before,
Right.
Like I know that I have vinaigrettes in the fridge that I've kept that don't have any like like raw onion or whatever in it, and they last for like 6-7 months. So,
Right, totally.
yeah.
All right, cool. Well, come on by and check them out. We got them in the cooler in amongst all our other ferments. You'll see a nice line of sauces and then these couple of dressings. And I'm sure they go quick. So come on in.
Hope to see you soon.
Yeah, bye for now.